Let's try some more examples. Because, am I taping? I'm not taping. You need to understand what tape is. This is digital media. It is not a tape. So let's look at the cube root of negative 54. If you don't calm down, I'll kick you right out of the door. I'm sorry, but do you not understand? I know you hate math, but of me you're a fan. So let's take the cube root of negative 54. How can you break this down using what we saw before?
What about the
Is there a perfect cube that goes into this number?
54 divided
If
by
I keep singing like this, you can avoid the slumber. What?
7, 36, 45. 9 times 6.
I could do 9 times 6. How about not a perfect cube, though? Is there a perfect cube that goes into this? Not that there's anything wrong with doing 9 and 6. What did you say?
27.
7 and 8 is 56.
27 and 2.
27 and 2.
What about this negative? What you gonna do with that?
Negative, that's a good question. If I have the cube root of a negative number, then I know my answer will be what?
Negative.
It's going to be negative. That negative can...
It's just gonna be right there.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know, and if it makes you happy,
It's nice.
yeah, then it can't be that bad. If you make that as a negative 27 like that,
Awesome.
then negative 27 is still a perfect cube. And what is it the cube of?
3.
Negative 3, and who's left inside? 2. Do y'all agree?
No.
Finally, pay attention. You should not agree because what did I forget?
The 3 thing.
I forgot the index. Man, that's an easy way to lose points on a test or a quiz. Keep chipping away at your score.
Well, we just write all the steps out so we can remember to write it there. You keep jumping steps. You need to stop.
I don't jump steps.
You are. You're jumping.
So how do you put that in mathematical pronunciation?
How do you write it? This is negative 3 cube roots of 2. Something else that you could also say, especially when we get to things that are a little more complicated, and just, I may change the way I say it every once in a while. I may say negative 3 times the cube root of 2. Just to, and that might give a little more emphasis. Yes, those are really cute shoes. I'm so glad we could talk about that while I'm recording. Awesome blossom.
Because that's still understood as multiplication.
Right, and sometimes with some of the expressions we're going to see in a little bit, I will actually explicitly write that multiplication symbol to create just the tiniest bit of separation between what's on the outside and then the radical, because the way I write my stuff, because you know me, my index is clearly up here in the nook because I give it enough space so that it does not get confused for being the exponent on the 3. Some of you don't write things well enough, and it just takes practice. Again, I've been doing this since you guys were in diapers. If you guys did diapers, I don't want to judge.
You did? What you want? I mean, some linen? Yeah. Oh, God, you old, never mind.
My mama just made us run around outside naked until we learned how to potty. I mean, this is, tell you what, we had some really good tomatoes. Now, you said 9 times 6 before, so I can't fault you for saying 9 times 6. So that's 3 times 3, and 6 is 2 times 3. I'm looking for a perfect cube, so guess what? I've got 1, 2, 3 threes, right? So I'm still going to get my negatives right there. These threes will give me 1 3 on the outside, and then you still have the cube root of 2. It's still the same thing. There's just different ways of looking at it. It depends on what you see first. If you don't see 27 times 2, but you see 9 times 6, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's going to take you a few extra steps to get there. What do you guys think?
I think you gotta remember to put that 3 on the outside.
Yes. Yes, you do. What if I have this guy? That's a little different going from a cube root to a square root, right?
Now you can use 9 times
Now I can use what?
Now you can use 9 times 6.
I could use 9 times 6, right? So what are you going to get for your answer?
3 is the same thing.
The same thing.
Well, 3 with no 3 on the outside.
You have the negative 3.
Square.
It's negative 3.
What, Greg?
It's square.
So we're looking for perfect squares, right?
That's not a real number.
Or maybe I recognize I have a negative radicand inside of the square root, so this guy is,
Not real.
it's not a real number. Got to remember the limitations that you have for your square roots. Tricky, tricky.